Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. You know, sometimes I get sent things that seem so crazy, so unbelievably true, that I worry if I report on them, I will risk a reputation hit on the channel. Because sometimes you can report on something and it turns out it's not true. And then suddenly you have to issue a retraction. Or sometimes you're just wrong and it's hilarious and you leave the video up so people can laugh at you for years. Like when I said on paper, when I saw Ghost's phasing ability, that Ghost could be a really good defender, not realizing between her animations and the phasing mechanic of her that she would be one of the worst defenders of all time. Hilarious prediction. Still, video exists. In fairness, I thought, since we didn't know what phasing was at that point, that she would be more like Kitty Pryde, which, I don't know about you, but sometimes Kitty Pryde absolutely wrecks me on defense, even years later, especially if I don't have one of the top counters immediately like Nimgod or Warlock, or I guess now Lady D. So that brings us to today's video, because I have a friend that helped break the story that kind of broke the community for the month of October, which somehow is almost over. Because you see, if you missed it, there are summoners who have been participating in a secret event open only to people who allegedly hadn't logged in for at least 2 months. And that is the Iron Man system reboot. I want to give a big shout out to Mr. Silver Fox, who has been a longtime supporter of the channel and has kept me updated with so many stories behind the scenes that I never would have known about to report because, of course, I hadn't not played the game in 2 months. So if you're unfamiliar, these players started out by getting a decent amount of free items just for simply logging into the game. As Kabam said, "Greetings, Summoner. We noticed it has been some time since you last matched your skills against the epic challenges of the contest. So we want to ensure that you can get up to speed. You may not have known that Tony Stark has been putting some extra hours in at his workshop and has completely overhauled and refurbished his classic armor." Now, I did say, to quite controversy, that I don't love the Iron Man refresh. I think it's fine, but I think time will prove that it ends up being pretty good, but not so game-changing that suddenly people go, well, I quit the game, but now that I can use my OG Iron Man every day, I'm going to play this game for the rest of my life. I also don't think that people who claim, and they probably will in the comment section of this video too, that people are getting better rewards for not playing the game is entirely accurate, because so many of these players also didn't get a 6 or 7 star Morbius opportunity. And I know that is technically for cash, but it was the best deal for the money we've seen by far in 2023 in this game. So you start out with some free items. You'll notice you got some Cav Nexus crystals, and then it sets up a ton of solo objectives for different rewards. And those rewards can be pretty dang good depending on your progression. And yes, it does depend on your progression. You also get 3 weeks of the Black ISO store access for free, which is kind of fascinating. It is like a free trial to a streaming service, because make no mistake about it, why October? Well, next month is Cyber Week, which is one of the most important days of the year to Kabam's bottom line for profits, and then the gifting or banquet, or the heck they call it now that gifting's not really a thing, in December. So Kabam is trying to sell their investors, trying to sell themselves on a very strong last quarter of the year. It is usually the most important and most profitable quarter of the year for most companies. So Kabam, of course, as a for-profit company, should be no different. So you have these free items, also uncollected relic crystals, which I don't think I've ever opened, but I'd certainly take those for free. And then he saw 6-star shards, whereas quite a few people saw 7-star shards. So again, this can be very good. Here you see mainly 5 and 6-star shards. So he decided to take Kabam up on their offer to actually use these items to upgrade his alt and chase a progression title that for this account was really important. I know it can be easy to roll your eyes, because if you're not going for Paragon, what are you going for? But so many players are not Paragon yet, and I think that we do a disservice in this community every time we only talk about Paragon as if that's where everybody is. Because then people watch YouTubers and they say, I can't identify with that person because they don't care about me. And so I always try to be the channel that voices all players, even if you're just a contender or a conqueror, you know? I get it. I was there before those things even existed, because I couldn't contend or conquer much in this game. And you can see ton of solo objectives that just continue to give you motivation, including the side quest for October, of course, too. So, wait a minute. How did we go from 6-star crystals to 7-star crystal shards? Well, it turns out that our man Silver Fox actually became a Thronebreaker during this month, which he did not expect, for the record, to have anything change but daily crystals. But there is a reason why Kabam has left progression-based rewards coded into special offer whale holidays. Now, I think partially, like somebody asked me one time, sort of like the Arena Infinite Streak, do you think Kabam intentionally did this in the beginning? I don't. I don't think they wanted the Arena Infinite Streak to be a thing. I think it just became a thing with the way that it was coded, and then it became an expectation, and they couldn't get rid of it, even though they tried to get rid of the Arena Infinite Streak once and got so much blowback that they had to return the old system, but then just naturally move up when those death matches were triggered based off of the low PI of your arena team. In the same way, I think they were faced with two decisions. Somehow fix the progression coding issue, because again, progression wasn't a thing for several years of playing this game. It was just all about level. And then they realized you could be level 60 and still not really be in a position to explore Act 5. So they had to change and make progression titles. But because of that, suddenly, when you get a new progression, you can get a new slate of offers. That plays into Kabam's hands when it comes to whale holidays, because people are motivated to spend more money, because the higher the progression, the better the rewards. Which is why gifting crystals are so amazing, because everybody who qualifies for them gets the same rewards. So while they're solid rewards for Paragon players, they're literally life-changing, account-changing rewards for uncollected players and everybody else at the bottom of that minimal tier list. Well, in this same way, when he became Thronebreaker, he re-unlocked the event and got another 8 days plus to do everything from Ascended Champion to defeat 6 opponents in incursions. And make no mistake about it, that is a good chunk of 7-star shards for free, and a 6-star class Awakening Gem Crystal, which that's not that big a deal because of all the amazing side quest rewards that we get now in the game every month. And that's been my biggest argument for why these rewards aren't better than what we normally get for playing the game, because side quest rewards between generic 6-star Awakening Gems depending on your progression level and class-based Awakening Gems and everything else are just way better than event quest rewards for the work, especially this month, which could go into Side Quest Hall of Fame. So, all in all, he got also a new free gift when he logged in, another 5-star Iron Man, plus 10 Paragon crystals, plus some better relic crystals, more, maybe 21 days more of the Black ISO store for free, and so more amazing free stuff in the secret event. And Silver Fox, I never would have known this had you not sent this to the channel, and it's a happy Sunday when we get to report on news that impacts a lot of different summoners. So thank you, sir, for the information. Can't wait to see what the community thinks about this. It's a huge story and something that I'm sure a lot of people have differing opinions on. I happen to be in a position where I'm a little bit jealous of some of this, but I also think, objectively speaking, I still got better rewards for playing this game this past 2 months. But this does change it into a better free event for people who progress their accounts, because I had no idea you could reset the event and get better free stuff when you log in. That's news to me, and now, probably, it's news to you.